Categorize. Federalists and anti-federalists. Federalists supported strong national government, wanted large military force, supported commerce and industry over agriculture, opposed to slavery, supported adoption of Constitution, leader by Alexander Hamilton. Anti-federalists wanted to limit power of national government, believed states should keep as much power as possible, favored agriculture over commerce and industry, supported slavery, opposed adoption of Constitution, leader by Thomas Jefferson. p1n2. Which of the following statements could be categorized as expressing an anti-federalist viewpoint? A. The Constitution should be ratified as quickly as possible. B. The national government must be capable of enforcing its own laws. C. The work of the nation's farmers is more important than that of its factory workers. D. Taxes should be raised to support industrial growth. From The Federalist No. 2 by John J. It has until lately been a received and uncontradicted opinion that the prosperity of the people of America depended on their continuing firmly united, and the wishes, prayers, and efforts of our best and wisest citizens have been constantly directed to that object. But politicians now appear, who insist that this opinion is erroneous, and that instead of looking for safety and happiness in union, we ought to seek it in a division of the states into distinct confederacies or sovereignties. From Anti-Federalist Letters from the Federal Farmer to the Republican. There are certain unalienable and fundamental rights, which in forming the social compact, ought to be explicitly ascertained and fixed. A free and enlightened people, in forming this compact, will not resign all their rights to those who govern, and they will fix limits to their legislators and rulers. p1n2. Which two categories of individuals does John Jay identify in the first excerpt? A. His supporters and supporters of Alexander Hamilton. B. People who believe in a strong central government and people who believe in strong state governments. C. People of America and politicians from Great Britain. D. Supporters of state militias and supporters of a large national army. p1n3. How might the author of the second excerpt have categorized some of the citizens of the United States? A. They were a group that was not free and enlightened. B. They were people who did not possess unalienable and fundamental rights. C. They were individuals who supported a strong national government. D. They were people who wanted limited government. Georgia was the southernmost colony and bordered Spanish Florida. In 1739, when England and Spain were at war, colonists were successful in beating back a Spanish retaliation attack on the colony. To help to defend against the possibility of invasion, the city of Savannah, Georgia was fortified. By the time of the American Revolution, Georgia remained the least populated colony, with its land still mostly wilderness. After the American Revolution, many states tried to expand their territories toward the Mississippi River. In 1785, Georgia established a claim to land in what is now present-day Alabama and Mississippi. Spain had first claimed the territory and ordered the Georgian settlers to leave. In 1789, land companies purchased some of this disputed land from the Georgia legislature, further complicating the issue of ownership. At that time, Spain still claimed a portion of this territory. p1n04. Into which category could the future states of Alabama and Mississippi best be placed? A. Federalist states. B. English colonies. C. Spanish colonies. D. Southern states. p1n05. Which of the following could be a reason why Georgia categorized the Spanish a threat? A. Georgia was the least populated colony at the time of the American Revolution. B. The land in Georgia was mostly wilderness. C. British and Spanish forces were at war over Georgia. D. Georgia bordered Florida and had been previously attacked by the Spanish. p1n06. Into which foreign relations category is the information in the passage best placed? A. Spanish-American. B. English-Spanish. C. English-American. D. Georgia-Florida. Immigration to the United States by gender, 1820 to 1830. 1820, male, 69.8%, female, 30.2%. 1821, male, 74.2%, female, 25.8%. 1822, male, 77.5%, female, 22.5%. 1823, male, 79%, female, 21%. 1824, male, 80.1%, female, 19.9%. 1825, male, 74.2%, female, 25.8%. 1826, male, 70.9%, female, 29.1%. 1827, male, 71.7%, female, 28.3%. 1828, male, 65.4%, female, 34.6%. 1829, male, 65.2%, female, 34.8%. 1830, male, 72.5%, female, 27.5%. p2.01, which statement best describes the category 1824? A. The year with equal percentages of male and female immigrants. B. The year with the lowest percentage of male immigrants. C. The year with the lowest percentage of female immigrants. D. The year with the highest percentage of female immigrants. p2.02, in what other categories might these immigration statistics best be organized? A. Countries of origin. B. Military events. C. Federalists and anti-federalists. D. Political and economic histories. 1800 presidential election results. Vermont, Federalist, 4 F votes, total, 4 New Hampshire, Federalist, 6 F votes, total, 6 Massachusetts, Federalist, 16 F votes, total, 16. New York, Democratic Republican, 12 DR votes, total, 12. Rhode Island, Federalist, 4 F votes, total, 4 Connecticut, Federalist, 9 F votes, total, 9 Pennsylvania, split, 8 DR votes, 7 F votes, total, 15. New Jersey, Federalist, 7 F votes, total, 7 Delaware, Federalist, 3 F votes, total, 3 Maryland, split, 5 DR votes, 5 F votes, total, 10. Virginia, Democratic Republican, 21 DR votes, total, 21. Kentucky, Democratic Republican, 4 DR votes, total, 4 North Carolina, split, 8 DR votes, 4 F votes, total, 12. Tennessee, Democratic Republican, 3 DR votes, total, 3 South Carolina, Democratic Republican, 8 DR votes, total, 8 Georgia, Democratic Republican, 4 DR votes, total, 4 p2.03. Which state categorized as voting Democratic Republican had the most electoral votes? Virginia. p2.04, which states were categorized as casting both Democratic Republican and Federalist electoral votes? Maryland, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. p2.05, in which category is the state of Vermont? Federalist. George Washington believed that political parties would prove harmful to the new United States. In his 1796 farewell address as president, he discussed his views of these parties and his concerns for their impact on the country. The common and continual mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. It serves always to distract the public councils and enfeeble the public administration. It agitates the community with ill-founded jealousies and false alarms, kindles the animosity of one against another, foments occasionally riot and insurrection. It opens the door to foreign influence and corruption, which finds a facilitated access to the government itself through the channels of party passions. p2.06, in the passage, Washington describes several types of potentially harmful effects of political parties. The bribery of an elected official by another government can be categorized under which of the following harmful effects? A. Distracted public councils. B. Animosity between groups. C. Riot and insurrection. D. Foreign influence and corruption. p2.07, today, into what two major political parties are Americans categorized? A. Council and administration. B. Democrat and Republican. C. Federalist and anti-federalist. D. Libertarian and independent. In 1803, French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, faced with an imminent war with Britain, finally agreed to sell the Louisiana Territory to the United States. Napoleon feared that Britain might try to occupy the territory. The Louisiana Purchase, as it became known, included more than 800,000 square miles of land west of the Mississippi River. The United States paid $15 million for the land. President Thomas Jefferson wanted to acquire the land to continue westward expansion of the United States and to gain full control of the Mississippi River. p2.08, how is Bonaparte's decision to sell the Louisiana Territory best categorized? A. Economic. B. Religious. C. Political. D. Social. p2.09, how is President Jefferson's decision to make the Louisiana Purchase based on the acquirement of land best categorized? A. Geographic. B. Political. C. Safety. D. Military. p2.10, how is President Jefferson's decision to make the Louisiana Purchase based on control of the Mississippi River best categorized? A. Military. B. Economic. C. Political. D. Social. p2.11, under which U.S. history category would the Louisiana Purchase best be categorized? A. Articles of Confederation. B. Manifest Destiny. C. Indian Policy. D. Slavery. The Lewis and Clark Expedition. Commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson. Officially called the Corps of Discovery. Main goal was to find northern water route between Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Led by Army officers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. Lasted from May 1804 through September 1806. Journey began and ended in St. Louis. The Corps reached the Pacific Ocean bordering present-day Oregon. Clark served as naturalist and kept a detailed journal of the new plants and animal species discovered. Failed in main mission to find Northwest Passage. Information gathered about the land, plants, and animals and successful interaction with Native American groups proved valuable. p2.12, how can Jefferson's main goal for the mission be categorized? A. Native American interaction. B. Westward expansion. C. National security and military. D. Commerce and trade. p2.13, under which categories might the results of the Lewis and Clark expedition be placed? A. Trade and commerce. B. Science and culture. C. Arts and volunteerism. D. Military and defense. p2.14, the justification for the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition could both be placed under what category? A. Religion. B. Politics. C. Economics. D. Civil rights. Northwest Territory states. When Congress passed the Northwest Ordinance in July of 1787, the Northwest Territory was created. The new territory was a sizable area of federal land east of the Mississippi River between the Great Lakes and the Ohio River. At the same time, Congress established a form of government for the Northwest Territory and declared how various areas of the land might eventually become states. The Northwest Ordinance required the creation of at least 3 but not more than 5 states from the Northwest Territory, and the boundaries of each new state were defined. The ordinance prohibited slavery and required each new state to number at least 60,000 inhabitants to qualify for statehood. p2.15, which state could be placed in a category of states formed after 1840? A. Ohio. B. Indiana. C. Michigan. D. Wisconsin. p2.16, the information presented in the table and the passage categorizes states created from the Northwest Territory. How else could this group of states be categorized? A. Free states. B. States west of the Mississippi River. C. States south of the Ohio River. D. Slave states. In October of 1803, President Thomas Jefferson addressed Congress and encouraged the lawmakers to approve the Louisiana Purchase. From Thomas Jefferson's Third Annual Message to Congress, 1803. While the prosperity and sovereignty of the Mississippi and its waters secure an independent outlet for the produce of the western states, and an uncontrolled navigation through their whole course, free from collision with other powers and the dangers to our peace from that source, the fertility of the country, its climate and extent, promise in due season important aids to our treasury, an ample provision for our prosperity, and a widespread field for the blessings of freedom and equal laws. p2.17, what 2 categories of benefits does Jefferson say the United States will receive from the Louisiana Purchase? A. Alliances with Spain and control of the Gulf of Mexico. B. Opportunities for building factories and the use of military facilities in the region. C. Safe passage through the area and financial gain from the area's resources. D. Support from French colonists and the acquisition of a well-settled territory. p2.18, which category of the nation's economy does Jefferson mention twice? A. Industry. B. Agriculture. C. Shipping. D. Tourism.